I felt that it was appropriate to throw Chris into the ring with Big Show, Akeem, and Andre the Giant because he's got a pretty big task ahead of him 1 week from today. So 1 week from today, on February 3rd, Chris's next hearing will take place. And just like in November and September, I already am going to say that I think there's going to be another continuance. Now, I also want to say that if you clicked on this video expecting like solid legal like words about Chris and what someone who knows about the legal system thinks is going to happen to Chris, this ain't the video, because I don't know shit about law and everything like that. But I do know what Chris has been saying in these letters, and I do know what Chris has been saying on these phone calls, and I want to talk about whether that's going to factor into what they decide next week. And the letters and phone calls, that honestly goes into why I'm just assuming there may be another continuance. As I said, I've been reading all these shits, and every single one of them, Chris is basically saying, you know, I'm planning on going right back home. I'm planning on, like, you know, I didn't do anything to Barb. But in other letters, he's like, look, what I did to Barb was all good. So, like, the haters and fakes online, you need to stop it. So if they are, and as all you've been telling me, they are screening Chris's letters, if they're reading this shit, they may think, ugh, we really got to keep on, like, we might have to keep this dude here because putting him out back into the public is going to be a danger to his own mother. Now, as I said, I don't know what their line of thinking is going to be here. They could be just thinking, this dude's crazy, like, let's just cut our losses and get him out of here. I don't want to deal with this dude anymore. Who knows? But no matter what happens next week, I think it's just going to be I think it's going to be real interesting, because as the more the continuances pile on, the more absolutely batshit crazy these letters are going to get. Now, I had originally thought that Chris getting his last continuance back in November was going to make him lose his mind around Christmas time, and he didn't. Chris seemed to be taking it pretty well, and that's because it seems like Chris is actually adapting to jail pretty well. It's like the first form of structure in his life, and he's just sitting in there, like, just, you know, doesn't have to do anything for himself. He doesn't have to work. He doesn't have to worry about money and shit. All he has to do is sit there, read, and, like, he's everyone else's problem. So I don't know if Chris necessarily even wants to leave jail. However, I think if another continuance happens and Chris comes to the realization that he's going to miss out on Christian Love Day, this might be the point where Chris decides, fuck this, because now I'm mad. And I speculated on that a few weeks ago when it was like, you know, Chris was talking about jail, and like he wasn't really taking it seriously. He was just like, oh yeah, I learned how to make ramen, I learned how to do this. It's you know, I'm learning that I'm Jesus Christ and all. And you're just thinking, like, dude, you're not understanding the situation you're in. But now I think he is, because in some of the more recent letters, he said, you know, ask Joe Biden to pardon him, or, you know, go protest in the street to get Chris out. Because now he's getting to the point where he just wants to get home and get back to the My Little Pony shit, and possibly get back to doing whatever weird shit he was planning on doing with Barb. So I'm not going to draw this out and give you his legal advice that I don't know nothing about for the next 10 minutes. So I think what I'm going to do now is just give a little bit of speculation on what will happen if Chris gets out this week. And I already told you what I think will happen if he doesn't get out. He'll just progressively get more and more, like, annoyed and want to leave, which is, you know, kind of obvious here in fucking jail. But I think that if Chris does get out this week, there are a few options. Now, originally I thought the Ethan Ralph option was one of them, but he just got jumped in Portugal, and apparently he has a hearing the same day as Chris Chan on February 3rd. So I don't think the Ethan Ralph at the courtroom thing to pick Chris up from jail is going to be, that's going to be happening. However, what I do think will happen, and I pray to God it doesn't, is that Chris gets out and goes right back to that house, and the same shit goes on that happened before he left. Now, like I said, it's disgusting to think about, guys, but if they let Chris out, there ain't nothing stopping him from bum rushing back into his fucking house, looking for his toys and looking for Barb. So, on the other hand, though, I wanted to bring this up. If this hearing doesn't get continued and they don't let Chris out, then it goes to trial. And that's the most, like, interesting part about this if that happens. Because they say, look, we're taking Chris to trial, but they find Chris, like, incompetent, or they find Barb incompetent. Now, Barb's living on her own. Barb's still driving around with her license. She got in that bad car accident. So say they find Chris, like, oh, Chris is too crazy. Well, then do they blame Barbara? Because isn't the mother, like, the one responsible? If it's because he's in jail for incest. Like, so this is so confusing, right? Like, this could take an immediate left turn, and Chris could get out of jail, and Barb could be put on trial, but I highly doubt that would happen. However, the other thing is Barb gonna, like, try to press charges against Chris, which I doubt. because in some of Chris's letters, he's talked about how him and Barb have been in contact, and Barb's been asking him to send money back to the house because she needs it. And it's really sad to think about, but Barbara could possibly be in the mindset of, look, like she doesn't want him home after what happened, but she needs him home because she has no money. And it's just the sad part about getting old, I guess. But that's a real possibility that Barbara, like, if Chris does get out, she's like, nah, I need him home because I need the money. And Chris still has Barbara on his mind through and through. Like, if one, it's his mom, obviously, and two, he did what he did, so But Chris wrote another letter this week to Kengle. And in that letter, Chris says some pretty wacky things about Barb, and we'll get to that later in this video, because we are going to read, like, it's only about half a page of a letter, but it's very interesting what Chris says in it, because he goes back on things he's been saying for weeks now, and you can go back and watch any of my videos and see that he said these things, but like I said, we will get to that. Another really interesting thing to think about is if Chris does end up in the courtroom and goes to trial, how's it going to go? Is he going to sit there and be quiet, which we know he's not going to do, or is he going to sit there and eventually start demanding things and start making threats in the name of Jesus, saying, like, you know, if you don't let me out, then dimensional merge is coming and all that. And we've seen him freak out about insignificant things that mean a lot to him, like Sonic's blue arms and all that. So I think something as serious as this, Chris could absolutely fucking freak out about. We've already seen it in the first courtroom, too, where Chris apparently said, hey, you know, I need to go home and get my things, and then we can comply with this later. And they were just like, no, back to your cell you go. We're not going to let you do that. And it's like, to Chris, he's going to go in there demanding things. Like, he already probably has, like, a whole list of shit on his mind that he wants to talk to this judge about, not knowing that's not how these procedures work. Sadly, there will be no recording, or are they letting even the public in the courtroom, I guess, for this? Because, you know, the community surrounding Chris, there will be so many people there trying to get fucking updates, and, you know, it sucks. It sucks that no one will be allowed in there, but we'll know what happens eventually, because people end up going to the courtroom and shit. Don't do that. If you're listening to this video, you know, don't go to the courtroom. It'll be a huge waste of your time, because you know some random dude from some random place will do it. So, like I said, don't waste your time. But yeah, I really think that Chris could possibly, you know, if they're reading his letters and they see that he's off the deep end already, if he goes into that courtroom and starts, like, freaking the fuck out, they could really think, like, man, like, this dude, he is not all there. Like, could you imagine if this goes to trial and he gets put up on the stand or something and asks questions, and he just starts saying stuff like, listen, like, this is all the work of the trolls. What I did to my mom was all good. I did it to help her, and, you know, I need to get out of here, and if you don't let me out, Judgment Day is coming, and the dimensional merge is coming, and you're going to be in that group of fakes that's not going to go, so have fun on this earth while me and all the Sonichus go to our next earth, and the courtroom's going to be like, what the fuck is happening here? So that's what I think is a huge possibility, that Chris is just going to walk up in that courtroom on the day whenever this trial happens, if it happens, or he might just do this shit at the hearing. But yeah, he's just going to completely Sonic you out and make the people in that courtroom wonder what the fuck they should even do with this dude. But like I said, it is a bunch of, it's just all a toss-up, guys. Like I said, I don't know how the actual court proceedings go, but I think that Chris is going to, he's not going to enjoy it when he has to deal with them. You know, I'm not gonna lie, this match is getting pretty long here. I don't really got much more to talk about Chris and the hearing thing, but I want to get through this match so we can talk about the next letter. And right there, Chris just absolutely took Big Show's head off with a nice lightning bolt lariat, and you know, I thought that was the end of the match, but it ended up being elimination. So Chris takes out Big Show. Now Chris is just pounding down on Akeem. It's better than pounding down on Barb, I guess. Andre the Giant just absolutely swats Chris like a fly, and, you know, this match continues. The only other thing I wanted to bring up was that I've seen so many people talk about how Chris he really missed the opportunity to sell Sonichu NFTs while he was in jail, and I wonder if once he gets out, that's what people are going to be, like, trying to get in his ear about. Like, Chris, you need to sell these things, man. You can make so much money. And, you know, honestly, he probably could make a good bit of money, but I don't think Chris will really, even if he wanted to do it, he's going to be too lazy to do it, because, you know, once he gets out, there's going to be too much, like, toy shit and Sonichu shit, pony shit, and Barb shit for him to take care of. So I don't think there will be Sonichu NFTs, but it will be pretty funny if there is. I still wouldn't buy him anyway, though. I ain't getting into that. Oh, and Akeem takes out Andre with a splash. Oh, and Chris Chan absolutely just sneaks Akeem, putting him in the walls of Sonichu. And man, yeah, this might be it for Akeem here. You know, nobody escapes the walls of Sonichu. Shit. I should not have let this match go this long. There we go. Alright, we got it. Chris Chan does it. That's another victory for Chris. He is absolutely dominating in this league, I'm not gonna lie. He might have to face, we might have to have a match next week against Old Liquid for the #1 contendership to John Cena's WWE title. I think that's the plan. But after these highlights end, we're gonna get into the next letter that Chris wrote, and like I said, it's pretty out there, but it's not very long. But one thing he mentions just made me fucking crack up when I saw it. So let's get into that shit. To make clear with everyone, I have never ever said nor felt my mom. I mean, you definitely felt up on her, but I have never ever said nor felt my mom, Barbara Ann Weston Chandler Rose Chu, was a god of any sort, nor is she Emmanuel or even Virgin Mary incarnated. Well, she definitely ain't Virgin Mary after you got through with her, but however, it's, you know, you've said about 20 different times that she's Emmanuel, and now Chris is saying, I never said she was Emmanuel. You know, go back in any of my videos. Chris has said she's Emmanuel tons of times. If anything, Barbara is the reincarnation of Merlin, of Merlin the Magician. Oh my god, dude. Like, where is he get? I don't even know. Let's move on. But Emmanuel, God above gods, was my father. So Bob now is okay. Was my father when I was born in Bethlehem over 2,022 years ago. Emmanuel had changed her gender to female in physicality and form over a century ago. Emmanuel planted an ovum from her ovary into Barbara ovary to attract me from my forward and back trip through time. Dear God, what is this? After what happened with me in 1389, when the universe was divided into my second physical birth on February 24th, 1982, into this immortal body of mine. With that, Emmanuel, you spelled Emmanuel wrong there, is my mother. Oh my, dude, what the fuck? Oh my god, like this is... So, okay, so Barb is not Emmanuel. However, his father, Bob, is Emmanuel. But at the same time, Emmanuel is his mom. Why am I trying to make sense out of this? Why am I gotta slap myself a little bit. Why am I trying to make sense of this? It's fucking Chris. I am still half Sonichu, physically due to my trip through the apex of the chaotic rainbow of 2003 between Sonichu Prime and Rosie Rosechu Prime. Okay, remember Emmanuel herself can change her physical form into any creature, including a Sonichu form. Yet Arceus, don't bring Arceus into this. It's not his problem. The first main one was manifested from a piece of her. So the first Arceus, well, let's give Chris a big round of applause and the whole Chandler family, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be seeing this Pokemon game dropping tomorrow, which we'll have a video on later this week, by the way. But, so yeah, if you guys were wondering, which I'm pretty sure all of you were, Barb is actually not Emmanuel. She's actually the first Arceus, who's also Merlin the Magician. So, I mean, you know, the lore is just expanding every day, guys, and all of our favorite characters, we're just piecing them all back to the Chandlers. I'm pretty sure now almost every character from like popular cartoon media over the past 20 years can be linked back to Chris in some way based on what he's saying in these letters. Now, this is only one page of the letter that Chris sent to Kengle, and Kengle won't release the rest of it because he's respecting Chris's privacy. Cool, Kengle. You're the man, dude. But, so that's where we're at with this. Chris is talking about like all this nut shit now, saying, you know, Barb's not Emmanuel, she's a magician, Merlin to be exact. And yeah, it goes back to, or if they are reading these, which like I said, it seems like from what you guys are telling me they are, how can they read this and just like, you know, sweep this under the rug? The dude's absolutely out of his mind, and you gotta do something about it. If you're gonna just let him sit in the jail and rot, I don't know if that's necessarily the best choice. You know, I've said it before, I don't have any sympathy for Chris because he did a terrible thing, and he's kind of reaping what he sows. You can't do that to an old woman like that who can't even protect herself. It's fucking weird. But at the same time, should Chris get help? Probably. You shouldn't just let him wither away in jail. And if you let him out, he'll only get worse. So, you know, I don't really care what happens at the end of the day. We're just gonna have to sit here and we'll watch whatever happens, and that's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. You sit here, you watch, you don't get involved, and you don't care about it. But on February 3rd, we'll see what happens, and hopefully it's something funny and something not as like fucking weird as what Chris did with Barb. But with how Chris's life is now, I don't know how much it's gonna be until we can get back to the funny shit. Other than that, guys, I hope you guys have a great day. I want to give a shout out to Tyler, Holly, Sky, Krabby, John Bob. You guys are some absolute goats. And other than that, you know, I really hope you guys just have a great day. Spark one up. Just, you know, chill out. Don't, even if you have work today, take off. Call your boss and say, yo, I need a sick day. Like, I'm not feeling it today. Just relax today, guys. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day. Stay safe.